Hey, welcome back to Karen's Papercraft. Thank you very much for watching. Wat leuk dat je weer kijkt. Dankjewel. Now, if you've made these, and aren't they absolutely sweet? If you want to gift them, of course, you need some cute packaging. And this is what I've designed for them. Want to find out how you can make a box like this? Come and join me. Blijf gezellig kijken. Right then, let us start with the box. And first I'm going to tell you where I got the pattern for the little chicken. Isn't it sweet? I think she's a Japanese young lady and her YouTube channel is called Ami Amor. And she's got really nice amigurumi things. So if you're interested, go and check out her YouTube channel. Clear instructions. Even if you don't have a chicken like this, you could use a chocolate egg, which is about the size of a normal chicken's egg, and I've made one of these boxes in cardstock as well to show you that you can. I stamped on adhesion tied, put in the window, and I'm putting in the egg, of course minus the ears, and then you could fit a chocolate egg in the box as well, or more small chocolate eggs if you wanted to. But I'm going to make a box for this sweetie, and I have used the Dandy Designs Designer Series paper, which is no longer available, but you may still have it. It was a celebration offering, and you could get a huge pack. Right, the supplies for a box. You're going to need a piece of Designer Series paper. I've used Cellophane Bag to make the window. I'm going to use the 1 3/4 inch circle punch. These are coming back, yay! See, I put retired on it for my system, but I can take the retired off now because the circle punches are coming back and I'm so happy with that. My silicone craft sheet. I've used the Something Fancy dies, the largest one there, to cut the window, and I'm going to use the metallic woven ribbon. And for today's chicken box, I'm going to use the fresh freesia. I have also used the parakeet party and Tahitian tie for the other boxes. So let us dive in and make the box. The Designer Series paper is of course not as thick as the cardstock, but it is sturdy enough to make a box even this size. You just, well, it's a bit easier to squash it, but if you're careful, you won't squash it. My Designer Series paper piece is 8 by 6.5, 20.2 by 16.5 centimeters, and we're going to score that with a long side top at 2 inches, 3 3/4, 5 3/4, and 7.5. In centimeters, that is 5, 9.5, 14.5 and 19 centimeters. You rotate, you score at 1.5, 4 1/4, and 6. In centimeters, that is 3.8, 10.8 and 15.3 centimeters. I'm going to fold all my score lines. No need for a bone folder. This is Designer Series paper. Just your fingers will do. I only reinforce with my bone folder when I'm working with cardstock, because that really needs it. This paper is more willing, shall I say. Then you're going to cut the window, and I'm taking it out. With this pattern paper, it's not as easy to see, but if you fold your box like that to start with, it's easier to guess where the middle is. And I'm not sure if it shows up on camera, but here is a score line and here is a score line. So I want my die to be at an equal distance from that score line and that score line, and I want it to be equal from that score line and that score line. So just move my die around a bit. It's not an exact science. And with this paper you can put it on straight because there's this pattern of the little dots. So make sure that you have it on straight and equal distance. This should do it. and then secure it temporarily, and you're going to die cut this. Now this is 6.5 inches, so it won't go into your cut and emboss machine because you need 6 inches for that. So what you do is you fold up that top flap and then you can put it in. I'll show you my plates. So my bottom plate, and I'm putting it on, you see. Now it is the size which will fit in. Then you can put the top plate on. Make sure there's no bits sticking out, and you can run it through your die cut machine. Don't discard what you've cut out. You're going to need that for the bottom later to make a really nice looking bottom. So I'll put my die back in the storage. There we go. And because I've taken away this bit now, it's a bit wobbly. So first I'm going to put in the window, and I've managed to, oh gosh, I'm filming again. Here we are. This is one of those cellophane bags, 6 by 8 inches, and I'm going to cut this down to, checking my notes here, you need 4 inches. I'll do it like that. Saves on the cellophane. So 4 inches, and then you want a piece which is 2 5/8. So 2.5, 2 5/8. There we go. In centimeters, that is 10 centimeters by 6.6 centimeters. But this window is double, so I'm going to cut it open. So you have 2 in one go, almost. So just with your scissors along that border, you cut, and I'm saving that for another egg box. First I'm going to put tear and tape on, and I need my silicone craft sheet for that. And I've put it under. Well, I need it because then it's better visible for you. There's no other need really to have a silicone craft sheet. It's just that on the white grid paper you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. Sorry about my rambling. I just realised that you don't really need a silicone craft sheet if you don't want to. But there you go. In a minute I'm going to show you a trick on how to adhere this window. I find that it's easier to put the tear and tape on the window itself than onto the box. If I do it on the box, there's always some tear and tape sticking out from under, because I put it in the wrong position, or I put the window in the wrong position. So if you put it on your window itself, and it doesn't really matter if it is cellophane like here, or if you use window sheet even. Oh, by the way, using window sheet here would be difficult because it's not as flexible, and you'd have problems with here the corner. So don't use window sheet, use cellophane bag. I should have told you that before. Oh, that's my husband sneezing. He knows I'm filming, but okay, these things happen. A trick. I'm going to remove part of the tear and tape, not all of it, because I want some control on where I'm putting it down. If you remove all the tear and tape in one go, you may have problems, because you know tear and tape sticks, and once it touches the paper, it's stuck. We all know that. So by removing part of the tear and tape, it's easy to hold it, because it is, well, floppy. And then I'm looking for the score lines and putting it on. Okay, this is all right here, and then you can remove the tear and tape, the paper backing strips, and with the bone folder again, make sure it adheres. I have a slight bump there, but that's not a problem. And now you see the box is a bit sturdier because I did cut away the window. Now we're going to do the cutting. Excuse me. And the narrow flap on the right, that is the glue flap. So what's below that is the bottom, and you're going to cut up the 4 score lines. to that first score line, and you cut away that one. These 2-inch strips you leave as is, and these two are going to be the side flaps, and those you wedge, as you can see me do here. So that's the bottom part. Along the top you do the same thing, so you cut up those score lines as far as the second score line. It's a bit tricky to see with this patterned paper. I always think that the advantage of the designer series paper is that your box is already decorated. If you make a box in cardstock, nice, but you'd have to put on some sort of decoration, either designer series paper panels or stamping, the way I did here. Okay, let me just check. This is the back part. You're going to leave that as is. This is the front part, and these you're going to shorten. Now you can cut them by hand. I like to use my trimmer for that, and I'm going to cut off about half an inch there. So either you look for the 1 1/4 inch there, or for the half inch, the 1 inch mark there, and then you can cut both strips off in one go. And then you have this one, and I'm going to make a really neat top, and here you're going to, I'll just cut that by hand, it may be easier to show you. Sorry, I'm still recovering from the flu. Excuse me. Here I'm going to leave a flap which is about 3/8 of an inch. So roughly there. Because here there's a slight edge, or there may be an edge, so when you tuck in the top flap it may get stuck on the window sheet. So I've devised this method to make sure I have a nice rounded top that your top flap can slide over. Now I can stick this down as well. And is this too, I'm checking if it's too long. Yeah, it's slightly too long. You see, you don't want that visible. So probably my window is a bit higher than with the other box, but that's no problem. I can just snip off a tiny bit and check again. See, now it's invisible, and I'm going to put some tear and tape on. If your tear and tape is too wide, what you could do is put it on the score line or slightly over the score line, and then when you fold it over it will be stuck, but it doesn't show. So I'm removing this, and now there you go. And I'm going to put a mark in the middle because I'm going to put a notch in with my 1 3/4 inch punch, and I want to see roughly where the middle is. Makes it easier. So you slide it into your punch, and then with my pencil mark I can see, oh well, roughly that is the middle. And you punch. Just a tiny notch, but it shows you where you can open the box. Right, so far so good. Oh, you need to wedge these two as well, because that's the flap that you're going to slide in. And these still need some wedging to make the box fit properly at the top. We're getting there, we're getting there. Don't forget about that piece. I'm going to show you in a minute what to do with that. First we're going to put tear and tape on to the box. On the outside, some tear and tape along the glue flap. And I see that I'm almost through with this spool. Oh, there should be enough on it for this project, but I'd better put another one handy because I'm going to continue filming today, and you never know that you run out while filming. Okay, front flap, back flap. On the back flap you just put 2 strips like this. And on the front flap you put it in a U shape. Make sure the glue adheres well, and then it's time to put the box together. So just fold over that bit and you use your bone folder to make a crease along the cellophane as well. Then you can fold over that piece, make sure it's on straight, fold over the box again, pull it flat and make a score line. Then I'm going to temporarily put the top together. That makes it easier to... you see, I did put my window at a different angle, so this is just a bit too long, but never mind. You can shorten it, it will stay in, I hope. Yep, and it's not visible. So I've put my top together. Now I'm going to adhere the bottom. First you put in the two side flaps and then you remove the backing from the back flap, so that's where the two strips are. And because this box is rather flexible, I do want the edges straight, so I'm using my fingers to push the box in the direction I want it to go, and then I'm using the back flap, those two edges, to maneuver the box, and then I push down onto the glue and then it's fixed. And the same thing here with the front flap, it folds over, but the box may move a bit, so I'm using my thumbs to make sure that it's all a lovely straight crease, line, whatever, side, edge. Okay, push down, and now for the bottom. Again, I'm going to use my trimmer. I'm going to cut off those two little wings, so where the score line is, I put it onto the cutting groove, cut off those two wings, and this you want to be 1 3/4 inches. So you cut off a sliver there, because the box is 1 3/4 inches wide. This you can drop inside the box. You can choose to have it in the same pattern as the inside, or you can use that one. I'm going to use that one. You just slide it in, push down with your bone folder. You could use some glue. I don't, because it will stay in there. Put a chicken in, put the top on. Nearly done. Fresh freezer is what I wanted. And I'm going to how much ribbon do you need? Roughly this, I suppose. I'll just measure for you. About 16 inches. So let me measure that again. I'm using the bottom of my grade paper. I'll show you. There's a measurement there, see? I have to be careful that I don't pull my tripod off my table. Oh, I'm going to stop filming for a minute because my battery is running out. It's a good thing I looked up. I was so involved in filming, and I don't know why, but after a certain amount of time, my camera just says, okay, you've done enough filming. It's always nice when someone else decides that for you, when I haven't quite finished yet, but okay. So, a piece of ribbon, and all you do, oh hang on, I want my bow to look right from the front, so I'm going to tie it with the front of the box facing me, make sure both ends are equally long, and just tie a bow. With the metallic ribbon it is a bit tricky. Oh well, this is rather a short bow, isn't it? I would suggest you use more than 17 inches, because here you see the ends are longer and I like that better. Well, this is a bit over long, so I could trim those. Okay, now the phone's ringing. This bow can perhaps use some trimming as well. So I would suggest you use 17, perhaps 18 inches, which would be better than the 16 I mentioned before. And there you have it, 3 cute little ways to package a chicken or an egg without the ears. Okay, that's it for today, my chick and the box. Isn't it sweet? I'm sure I'm going to have to make lots of them. Well, thank you very much for watching. Dank je wel voor het kijken en see you next time. Bye bye.